Hi everyone, it's Vincent Camerata here, and I hope that you're ready for a passionate book talk because I'm going to be book talking one of my absolute favorite books that I've read in the last couple years, and that is Adib Khorram's Darius the Great is Not Okay. And one of the pivotal messages of this book is that it is okay to not be okay. And I think for young adult readers, one of the hardest things to do is understand that the struggles that you go through, it's a very hard and rough time. Finding out who you are and trying to navigate different social relationships. This is a difficult period in people's lives. Darius, the main character of the story, is experiencing what a lot of young teen readers go through. He himself is a high school student who has trouble fitting in, who's bullied, and feels like he has no friends, no one he can rely on. If you're a student or any reader who's a young adult and feels like you are having trouble fitting in, this is the perfect book for you. One, not only because you'll be able to relate to Darius and the struggles he goes through, but also because one of the other messages of this book is that there is hope. Yes, you heard me. There is hope for you, individuals. One of the things that I went through that this book also deals with is the struggles of mental health issues and how they can impact you in everyday life. For me, like Darius and his father in this book, I struggled with depression. And it often made me feel, rejected or isolated, like I could not connect with other individuals. But something that we see in Darius' story is that as he interacts with different characters, he finds different ways to cope. In fact, he finds what I call a hope to cope. The hope to cope. So that is when you tap into different resources, different individuals, take something away from them and find ways to keep on going, to deal with the struggles of mental health issues, to realize that your anxieties, your depressions, or what have you, do not define you, and that is something that is all over Adib Khorram's story. There's also a lot of other important messages, like the importance of connecting with your family, the importance of confiding in friends, to find a shoulder to lean on or a shoulder to cry on, and also the importance of finding where you belong, which is something that our main character Darius eventually gets to. But I don't want to give any spoilers away. So let's talk a little bit about Darius and his journey. As a teenager with depression, and as someone who's bullied because he's an Iranian American in the United States, Darius is going through a really tough time. A tough time that I think a lot of young teen readers can probably relate to. But he has the chance to go to Iran to visit his sick grandfather and his grandmother. So on this trip to Iran, he gets to finally meet the family that he never got to interact with. They would web chat because they live in Iran and Darius and his family in the United States, but he finally gets to connect with them. And connection is such an important element of this book. In fact, I won't hide, I won't sugarcoat it. This book made me cry several times, and these moments came from different moments in the book where Darius would connect to characters. With the friend he meets in Iran, Sohrab, he finds someone who finally accepts him for who he is. Doesn't mind that he's a little nerdy. Doesn't mind that he has these mental health issues. Doesn't mind that he's overweight or that he doesn't fit in back home. These things don't matter to Sohrab, and we could all take a page out of Sohrab's book in learning how to treat one another, learning how to listen to one another. That's a very important message that Adib Khorram illustrates in this book. That we need to be there for one another, that we need to listen to each other and try to have empathy for our different situations. So if you are an individual reader who is, maybe multicultural, you have multiple backgrounds, and you feel like you don't fit in both worlds, One of the key messages here is that you can find ways to fit in by getting in touch with your roots. Engaging your family history, engaging traditions from different cultures that you belong to, in order to feel more connected. Also, just in general, connecting with your family, I think, is an important message, especially for individuals like myself who have, struggled with mental health issues. Um, one of the best ways to learn how to, get the hope to cope, is to confide in people, to, admit that you're struggling, and find individuals, whether it be, your family, your friends, if you go to a doctor, which is completely fine, and a lot of people wind up doing. You have to be able to get it out. You don't want to hold these, emotions that you have inside, because then they begin to dictate how you live, and they eat away at you. And we see that happen a lot with Darius in the story, until he meets people that help him cope with the mental health issue that he's struggling with. This book has a little something for everyone. The friendship between Sohrab and Darius is so beautiful. Don't be surprised if you find yourself crying as their relationship blossoms. The relationship between Darius and his father, Stephen Kellner, is so strained, but there's a very, rewarding scene towards the end where they finally confront each other, and very deep, emotional, and impactful scene there. Because this book has something for everyone, I think it's something that everyone should try to, get their hands on at some point in their life. If you don't struggle with mental health issues, it can teach you a lot of how you can help others who are, how you can be that shoulder for them to cry on, for them to talk to you. One of the best things we can do for one another in this life, period, is support one another. And I think that Adib Khorram really focuses on that in his book. So, again, it's Darius the Great is Not Okay by Adib Khorram. And I think that it has a little something for every young adult reader. Whether you fit in or not, you get to see the power and impact that friendship can have. And you also get the important message that I want to convey to all readers who might be struggling or going through a tough time or dealing with a mental health issue. There is hope. You will overcome this. There are people out there who care about you and who will be there for you. So, really appreciate everyone listening to this book talk for Darius the Great is Not Okay. And I hope you get to read this book and that it pulls on your heartstrings just like it did for me. So, thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great day. And this has been Camerata signing off. Bye.